So hopefully between this and my other phone, I'll get something going here. Alright, so what I am doing is a headlight restoration kit on a Envoy. And I've done one, maybe two, a while ago. So we'll see how this one goes. This is the kit that I will be using for the restoration. And see what it gives me. Alright. It gives me some gloves, hand sander. Moment. All right, so we've got a few, it gives you a step-by-step process. You got 4 step ones. And then step 3s. Oh, this is a clear coat. Oxidation remover. And if I remember right, this kit has enough to do 2 headlights. So that should be 3 step ones per headlight that we'll be using. So we'll wipe it down 3 times with that. And then it gives us this little sanding block. Well, not block, but little air hockey looking thing. And you got a few different grits of sandpaper. The super, super fine ones for finishing it off with. But it gives you a couple of thicker grit ones to start with. It gives you gloves to use. If you want to use gloves, probably should, because they come with it. Skin and eye irritant. All right. There's Sway. How you doing? Looks like we might have a couple of people tuning in finally. So, to quickly update everybody who's in here, I'm doing a headlight restoration kit to my Envoy with this ceramic coatings, deoxidization, headlight restoration kit, no tools required ordeal. So, we'll see what happens. Trying to look up the actual instructions so I know the duration of what I'm doing here. But this other device is being stupid slow. Stupid slow. Alright. If everybody that's in here take a quick moment and go give that little thumbs up button a smack would be great. And don't be afraid to share it to your peoples, friends, families. See if this works. All right.
Lights thoroughly with any type of car soap and rinse them well. If applicable, open your car's hood for easier access to the headlights.
Yeah, got that. Got that. Let's go. Play.
It will remove any final oxidization. Included are 4 wipes per headlight in a circular scrubbing motion. You will notice the wipes becoming yellow. This is the oxidation being the oxidization.
All right, here we
Put on
go.
the supplied gloves. Once your hands are protected, open one of the oxidation remover wipes and rub the headlight in a circular scrubbing motion. You will notice the wipes becoming yellow. This is the oxidation being extracted in one of the most satisfying steps in the process. Oh yeah. Included are 4 wipes per headlight. Once your wipe has become yellow and soiled, grab a fresh one and start again. Be sure to use all 4 wipes and don't worry if your 4th wipe is still yellow, as the next step will remove any final
4
oxidization.
wipes
When you are finished with the wipes,
per
rinse the
headlight.
headlights thoroughly with water. Complete step 1 on both headlights before proceeding to step 2. Step 2. Let's prepare
They gave me
the
6
surface.
pads, so if they want me to
Fasten
use
your
4
rim pads
wipes
to
per
the surface
headlight,
rim pad.
I'd have needed
Wet the
8 of
headlights
those,
after
and I've
scrubbing
only
discs
got
with water and scrub the
6.
entire headlight in a uniform, non-circular motion for 2 to 3
Okay.
minutes. Be sure to keep the lens wet during this time. When finished, rinse the headlight with water. Now fasten the gray disc to the red pad and repeat the process, ensuring that the headlight stays wet the entire time. In some cases, it may be necessary to remove the discs to get hard-to-reach areas. Extra effort on this step will give you the best possible results. When you're finished with the gray disc, rinse the headlights and surrounding areas with water and dry with any clean soft towel. Use multiple towels to make sure it's good and dry. Very important. The headlights and surrounding areas must be completely bone dry before you start step 3. The ceramic coating is not compatible with water and can damage your headlights if they are not completely dry. Pro tip: if you have access to compressed air, you can use this to remove water from places that may be trapped.
Sorry, I'm a little boring at the moment.
You want that puppy bone dry. Step 3. Let's coat these bad boys. Put on the second pair of clean gloves and open one of the clear coat wipes. Starting at the top, carefully wipe the coating onto the headlight in a single direction.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to make do with 3
When you
pads
reach the far side
per
of the
headlight.
headlight, start back on the other side and overlap your wipe by 50%. Pro tip: if any of the coating gets on the car's paint, don't worry. Simply wipe it off with a dry towel. Repeat the process on the other headlight with the second wipe.
All right.
Allow the coating to dry for a moment.
I guess if I have further questions, I'll look at it. Let's get started. Hands are protected. Yeah. They don't smell great, just so you guys know. I said do this in a circle motion. This is the oxidation remover of the headlight. Look at that, it already looks great. Yeah, no, if I stop here, it probably would not look great as an end result. Probably would not be recommended. It does look a little yellow, but it's not. I guess the lights aren't horrible. Some lights are worse than others, I suppose. Did say to be sure to use all 4 wipes. Theoretically, I guess if you had 8 wipes, because I've only got 6. I don't know if that was a fluke or if this is only supposed to be for one headlight. From what I understood. I don't know if that means it was supposed to be 1 kit per headlight, because that would be kind of sucky, because you would think you could get 1 kit that would at least do 2 instead of buying 2 expensive sets of headlight restoration kits. Thank you, Sway. If you don't mind, go ahead and share it to people. Try to see if we can get some people to tune in here. 'Cause right now, I think I'm flying solo with you. So I am getting a little bit of yellow residue off here. So listen to a little bit more of the instructions while I'm scrubbling.
Minimum of 60 minutes before driving. Oxidization. Included are 4 wipes per headlight. Once your wipe has become yellow and soiled, grab a fresh one and start again. Be sure to use all 4 wipes, and don't worry if your 4th wipe is still yellow, as the next step will remove any final oxidization. When you are finished with the wipes, rinse the headlights thoroughly with water. Complete step 1 on both headlights before proceeding to step 2. Step 2. Let's prepare the surface. Fasten the red disc to the surface prep pad. Wet the headlights and the sanding discs with water and scrub the entire headlight in a uniform, non-circular motion for 2 to 3 minutes. Be sure to keep the lens wet during this time. When finished, rinse the headlight with water.
Thank you, Sway.
Now fasten the gray disc to the prep pad and repeat the process, ensuring that the headlight stays wet the entire time. In some cases, it may be necessary to remove the discs to get hard-to-reach areas. Extra effort on this step will give you the best possible results. When you're finished with the gray disc, rinse the headlights and surrounding areas with water dry with any clean soft towel. Use multiple towels to make sure it's good and dry. Very important. The headlights and surrounding areas must be completely bone dry before you start step 3. The ceramic coating is not compatible with water and can damage your headlights if they are not completely dry. Pro tip: if you have access to compressed air, you can use this to remove water from places that may be trapped but hard to reach with a towel. You want that puppy bone dry. Step 3. Let's coat these bad boys. Put on the second pair of clean gloves and open one of the clear coat wipes. Starting at the top, carefully wipe the coating onto the
So
headlight
I'd say
in a
that's
single
probably
direction.
would be considered soiled enough. It's yellow.
When you reach the far side of the headlight, start back on the other side and overlap your wipe by 50%. Pro tip: if any of the coating gets on the car's paint, don't worry. Simply wipe it off with a dry towel. Repeat the process on the other headlight with the second wipe.
I'll go over
Allow
it
the
one more
coating
time
to
with
dry
this
for a
wipe, and then
minimum
I'll
of 60 minutes
switch
before
onto a new
drying or
wipe.
exposing it to moisture. Congratulations, you've clarified, restored, and protected your headlights for life. Nice work. Now that your car has the eyes of an angel, make sure its trim is looking just as good. Check out Cerakote Trim Coat to see how we can restore and protect your car's trim with a similar process. Get your coat on with Cerakote.
Okay. Alright, so I've got one done. We'll move on to the next wipe. I think we'll just judge this by how the wipes are maybe looking and go from there. Alright. Wipe number 2. I'm not sure if you guys can see real well what I'm doing here, but maybe I can move a little bit better to where you guys can see better. So, doesn't look like I'm pulling off maybe as much this go round. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably be fine with using 3 each. Because I'm gonna have to look at this once I'm done. Because I don't actually recall if it said it did both headlights or if it was just a one headlight kit, which would be kind of weird in my opinion, because why not buy a kit that does both? Makes sense to me. In my bag down here, I'll even have the turtle wax one, but I think I'm gonna see how this kit does. I've seen good stuff about the turtle wax, but I don't know anything about the longevity of the turtle wax. I know turtle wax does have and make good product. I just don't know nothing about their headlight restoration kit, but I do have it. I'm almost saying maybe two's good enough because I don't think I'm gonna get much more than this off. Yeah, because most new headlights, Sway, have this plastic lens on it, and it oxidizes from the weather, the sun mainly, the UV destroys plastic over time. Actually got a little plastic thing on the back of the Envoy that I have to replace sometime here in the very near future. And it's just where the third tail light's at up top, but that whole little top piece is all plastic, and it's literally just sun baked and it's brittle, and it's just what the sun will do to plastics. Um, Especially with like clear plastics like these, I think the lenses may not get as brittle. I mean, I'm not saying that maybe some can't, so don't quote me on that. But typically, especially with clear plastic, they will get foggy and dingy, yellow looking even, and whatever chemical is on this helps pull oxidation off the plastic, and then I'll rinse it, and then it'll go to sanding so it looks more clear already, such as a headlight should. Uh, my thumbnail starting this, you could kind of see how foggy it was. I'll try to show you guys before I take the other one off how foggy it is, so you can have something to compare it to. But yeah. Now, my old car, my '04 Volvo V70 that I had, I love that because they had glass lenses, and you didn't have to worry about that. At least I never seen them fade or fog. Now I had to replace one time because it cracked because I think something flew up off the road and smacked it. But uh, I don't know. My opinion, I if I could get away with it, if they made glass lenses for this thing, I'd replace the whole thing to a glass lens. But I don't know. Manufacturers trying to save money on making parts, I guess. When they say they don't make things as well as they used to, it quite literally. Because you could go pull up on an old vehicle that's got glass lenses on it, and I could guarantee you just give it a nice little wipe down, it's shiny and crisp. Yeah, we'll get you a visual on that. I think I might call 2 pads good enough in case the other one might need a little extra. I don't know. I don't think it's any worse than this one. I think they're probably pretty equal. And I did already wash this down. You guys didn't see me do it on video because I did it prior to starting the live. I have actually my Dawn dish soap here that I scrubbed it down with just to make sure any other debris and junk was off of it. And then I'm gonna have to see if I can find a little sprayer or something, or I'm gonna have to get a little container I can keep water in, because it says to make sure you keep your lens wet while doing the sanding process. This little sanding papers will be step 2, and that will be what will help get rid of all the little fine marks and debris and the stubborn oxidation that doesn't want to come off with the wipe. Because is what that sandpaper do. It's a 2,000 and 3,000 grit, I believe. So it takes off a very, very fine layer, a very, very fine layer of the plastic off, and then you seal it as the last step to protect it, and I guess hope it lasts a while. I guess we'll see how long it lasts, because I don't plan on getting rid of this vehicle anytime soon, if ever. More so leaning on the never side. It's kind of sentimental to me. My grandfather gave it to me. So I want to make it last for as long as I possibly can, and if I can pass it off to my future son, maybe, then he can enjoy it as a first car or something, or as a car from me that he wants to hang on to and just keep up and keep running. It's an '05, so it's 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. So I mean, technically speaking, maybe it's considered an antique. Yeah, I don't know what the chemical is that's in the white, but I'm using it's called Ceramic Headlight Restoration by Cerakote. So whatever's in this white, that does pull the oxidation off. This one is yellow, maybe not as yellow as the other one was, but it has pulled a lot of that oxidation off. Well, shit, I'm 30, so am I considered an antique? Some days I feel it. Oop, I just got some on my arm. I'm a wither away now. Should I go 3? Keep it at 2. Trying to debate if I should use all 3 wipes on it or not. I mean, the instructional video said use all 4, but they didn't give me enough for even that. They gave me 6 total, which would be 3 per headlight. People today are going to think my car looks goofy because these are technically supposed to sit for a little bit after completing the job. I think it says a minimum of at least an hour, 60 minutes. I think I want them to chill for a little bit longer than that, so I'm just going to probably leave them inside on a mat to just cure and dry and do their thing and do my running around without headlights. It's daylight. You can get away with it. Somebody asked, my car went blind. Well, I don't notice it getting any worse. The coloring on the pad, anyways. I'm very tempted to call 2 good enough. Probably. Maybe. Oh, and to top it off, too, I do have some LEDs to put in after I'm done with this. So I'll have some LED high and low beams. Eventually they'll all be LED. I just haven't gotten around to getting all the LEDs for it yet. It's too bad YouTube's picky about music, because usually while I'm doing stuff like this, I would have some music playing in the background, but YouTube's really picky about playing music because of copyright stuff. It's like I'm sitting here scrubbing a headlight. How am I making the music or stealing the rights to it? Right. Lamau. I don't sound like Joe. Lamau. Funny, when I first heard him say that, I died laughing, but it makes sense. It does look like it says Lamau if you think if you look at it. I can never see it the same again now. Ever since he said that, Lamau. Yeah, I think I might call 2 of these good enough. So now it says to... Oh, look at that. I just pulled a bug out of it from somewhere. Delicious. I don't know where the hell that could have come from. And then it said to make sure they're bone dry. Alright, so I think we want to call that good. We'll go down there, rinse the light, and then we'll dry it. That's where I'm headed. Ugh. I'm just now getting this one done with the first prep pad. All right. I'm sorry to hear that, Soy. it. This is not the process you want to make sure it's bone dry in, but they say wipe it down, clean it, spray it off. So we'll do that and go from there. Because at this point is when I'll be moving to the sanding stage. But I'm going to go ahead and get that other headlight. Hey, Joe, what's up? They're just talking about you. All good things. All good things. I was saying earlier, it was funny. Someone, I think Sway, put LMAO in the comment. I was telling them that I could never see it the same since I've heard you call it LMAO. I've never been able to see it LOL, LOL, LMAO ever the same. You've changed that for me. No, not polishing. Not polishing myself. My error. I should have made sure you guys could see what I'm doing, because it probably did look like I was rubbing my crotch. I'm sorry. But I'm not sure if you know much about it, Joe, but I'm using this to clean up the Envoy's headlights, and I'm about to go get the second one so you guys can see it in comparison. That's one thing too. I love how the Envoy's headlights work on this thing. You can take them in and out real easily. Very simple, quick and easy thing to do. It was raining earlier, so I have the truck pulled further up to kind of help keep me out of the rain when I was having to be down here. But let's see if I can get this over here. It's a lot of rubbing and polishing, but here, these headlights, I like them for how they are designed. There's a tab back here and a tab here. Pop them out. Just kind of finagle it just a little bit. And then the whole headlight just comes right out, and you just unplug everything from the back. Reminds me of some of the Volvos. They do that. And then need to get my little tool to reach back here. Grand Ams do the same thing. Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna wind up just replacing them, because I did find a set online that are they're wet right now because it did rain, but I'll wipe it off to show you guys. I already did the step one to the other side, but I don't know if this comparison will give you a whole lot, but you can kind of see this one has gotten rid of a lot of the oxidation already. I'll be moving on to doing this one. Okay. Bingo. I just did, Chris. I saw you're in. I just gave you a gift. Well, not literally gave you a gift, but what's up, buddy? I just made you a mod. At least I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, pretty much same principle goes. No weird shit. You don't need more responsibility. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't, don't worry about it, I guess. I don't know why I'm wiping it dry when I have to go wash it. It's kind of a retarded thing to do, I guess. Well, that's all right, Chris. I understood where you're coming from. I not hold any grudges on it. Just I've always had this in mind to kind of kick a little channel off just doing random crap. And when I started watching Joe's and how he was doing his and just kind of picking up on tips and whatnot, I was like, you know what? I might as well just pull the trigger and just give it a whirl and see what happens. And that's what I did. You want to scratch my beard? Actually, it was a lot thicker not long ago. I shaved it down. It was getting to be a bush. But that's where I'm headed there again. That's why I'm moving the camera on you guys. I won't be able to see your comments for a second. Yeah, sometimes I get itchy for no reason. I'll catch up on your guys' comments in just a second. fuck, he's coming back. Quick, we're free to say something weird. That wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. Does a toothpaste? You know, dude, actually, I don't know if the toothpaste method actually works or not. I have never tried it. This is like my second time maybe using this kit, and then there was one other time I used the turtle wax kit. I do have it for just in case, I guess, as a fallback. But the last time I used this kit, I was actually working in a shop. I'll show it to you. I was actually working at Champion Ford the one time I used it, and then another smaller mom pop shop when I used it a second time. Well, no, the no weird stuff like the politics and religion crap. If you guys see that popping up, if the channel grows to ever be that big where people are popping in to say weird shit like that, then yeah, just tell them to cut it out, and if not, then just do what you do on Joe's, just get rid of them. Pull the ponytail. Yeah, I was going to tuck it up in my hat. You guys are freaking great. No, you got to fill it up with blinker fluid. Don't you know that's a cheaper option? You just run water in it. Yeah, it just got done raining like a mother earlier. I got an alert on my phone earlier, Chris, that it was saying scattered severe thunderstorms. So I don't know if that was the end of the spat or if we're getting more later on. And it's starting to get a little muggy now because the sun's coming out, but it's right now it's still okay. Lemon and baking soda. You know, I've heard about that. I've never tried that either. Well, I still have a '06 Volvo XC70. It runs, but it doesn't drive. Everything's good motor-wise. It's just the transmission, and TCM decided to take a crap. The guy I bought it from was pulling full-size loaded construction trailers with it in Ohio. And other than that, the car was fine, and it drove fine for a little while. But I just think because of that abuse, because he said it was the only four-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicle he had at the time, and he said it would do it, and it would pull it, and it did well. I was just like, yeah, but that was just way too much weight. But it drove around for a while, probably about a year before it started giving me problems, and then it just shit itself. Who's in Tennessee? I'm in Pennsylvania. Braid it. You know, I've actually thought about it. I was going to do that. The only thing I won't do is man bun it. That's just I can't. I couldn't. Why couldn't it be water, Chris? No one actually knows what blinker fluid is, do they? No holes, no entry. Yeah, I'm not the tallest of the bunch. I'm like 5'8". I'm not short either, but I'm thick. I love food. Oh, you think Chris has got a crush? Yeah, I stay warm all year long, even when it's hot out. Unfortunately, sometimes I overheat. Pennsylvania is so freaking weird. Everybody's like, "Oh God, I can't live in Florida because it's so freaking hot." And I was born and raised in Florida for a good majority of my life. But I think people fail to understand Pennsylvania gets hot as hell sometimes for no reason, to where we do get 100-degree weather here sometimes. Maybe not as consistently as Florida, but it gets hotter than the dickens here sometimes. Short people might be closer to hell, but we're also more versatile. Clear, I know exactly where Clearwater is. I used to work out on the islands out there at what was it called, the Edge, and then right next door they had a Holiday Inn. I think I used to work there. I was hired at the Edge, but they were owned by the same guy. So if you got hired for one, you worked at both and just did maintenance stuff. But yeah, I worked out on the islands for probably close to a year. It's actually just before freaking COVID hit. And just before that, I was doing garage doors from a guy based out of Zephyr Hills. All right. I was gonna wipe that off, but I'm not going to bother with it. I got some wool wax on the black plastic there because up here we undercoat vehicles because of winter and bullshit. That's the one thing I do appreciate about down south. Unless you're like driving near or on the salt water, you don't got to worry about vehicles and undercoating all like that. That is one thing I do wish that the seasons up here were more balanced out because winter's longer than anything up here. Well, I can reach the top shelf at the supermarket too. I'm 5'8". I'm not short. Short, but not super short. My dad was 6 foot something. I don't know if he shrunk at his old age yet, but he's really not that old. But he was 6 foot something, and I was supposed to be. But back in my 8th grade year of high school, I got into doing stupid shit like mountain biking and stuff, which was fun. It was great until I decided to make my back porch in Georgia at the time uh, part of my little trail I was riding around, and it was kind of on a hill. So right at the beginning, you only had like a little lip to hop up on it, but the further you went out on the porch, it came higher off the ground because of the hill in the backyard. And the highest point was like 5.5 feet, 5 feet, something like that. Well, my buddy at the time called my name, so I went to stop, and the porch was slick because it had just rained, and my front wheel slid off the end of the porch, came down and caught the bolt, and the thing like bucked me like a horse. And I landed flat on the top of my head. Compression fractured my C1. It just took that vertebrae and just popped it in half. And it happened on a Friday evening, and I didn't go get checked out till Sunday, and the doctor said I was lucky to even be alive. Yeah, ouch. To this day, I can like pat the back of my neck and I can feel my toes tingle. Never could do that before. Yeah. The C1. Yeah, when I actually I still have the X-ray picture somewhere. It's I think they I still have it on the original doctor's disc because I went to get checked out and then they had to send me off to a specialist because supposedly they didn't know what they were looking at and put me in this foam neck brace and I had to go Monday, Tuesday-ish after the accident to go get looked at by a specialist. And that's the guy that told me I shouldn't have been walking into the office. He goes, I maybe could have expected you rolling in on a wheelchair. He goes, but walking, he goes, you better thank your lucky stars. He goes, because if at any point, because of the accident, I had like really tight muscles. My whole neck was tense. I couldn't move it, couldn't do anything with my neck, bend it, nothing. And he goes, if you would have laid down and fell asleep and your muscles decide to relax, your skull could have slid forward and it would have just severed your spinal cord and you'd have been done right then and there. That's what he told me. No, I did. I can't pretzel myself. I don't. I didn't say anything about pretzeling. I don't think. Yeah, bend over and cough while I pull them. Yeah, they send you with these gloves to wear for the step one. I don't know how. I don't know how bad the skin would or would not react to this stuff. I've never actually used my bare hands on it, but I'm not trying to find out right now either. All right. That cost me $500. Yeah, probably, Joe. Yeah, this step one, it's some type of chemical, whatever it is, it just helps remove that oxidation layer. I was explaining earlier, I'm not sure who caught it or not, but they say to use 4 of these pads per light, but they only give you 6 in the package. So my other headlight, I called it good at 2 because I didn't seem like I was pulling any more yellowing off. So I called it good at 2 wipes because I wiped them both really good with each wipe. And I guess if it needs to, I can still go back to that step. I haven't moved past that. I'll just have to wipe it again, I suppose. But got to do this. But anyways, the instructions said you got to do this. 4 pads per white, but they only give you 6 pads, so I was going to do 3 and 3. And then you go to your 2 and 300 grit sandpaper, or yeah, 300 or 3000, something. Shit, I don't remember. Yoink. Maybe 2 and 3000 grit sandpaper, I'm thinking is what it is. I'd have to double check and look. I looked at it right at the beginning just to see what I was dealing with. But yeah, white guy math, whatever you want to call it, close enough. German torque specs, good enough, good and tight. Yeah, I was thinking it was 1,000. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, and I even have some LEDs that I'm gonna pop in here once this is all set and done. And I'm gonna put these actually lenses inside for a couple hours to cure and dry once I'm done. It says you can start being back on the road with it within an hour, but I'd probably rather let it sit for maybe a little longer than just an hour before I put them back on the road. I know we probably have to. I think I have to run to the store here in a little bit, so I'm gonna be going without headlights. Someone say head. Are you deprived over there, Chris? I'm sorry, buddy. Kind of feel bad for you now. So maybe these new changes in life to come might be a good thing for you. Off with your head. Oh shit. Yeah, no, I'd like to keep my head if you don't mind. There you go, Joe. Sound advice. You've never done that or anything. Yeah, okay, Joe. If you think about it, I mean, a roll, I guess, wouldn't be a bad option because then you wouldn't have to worry about trying to get it from someone because you're lonely, and then God knows where their mouth has been. Get out of here. Or I could guess you could throw a jar of peanut butter in the microwave, nuke it for a few seconds. Probably be just as good. Just keep that peanut butter jar handy. If you want a little bit of texture, get the crunchy. A little more stimulating. That's true. I do remember you asking him that. Got a little handy hand. Handy dandy. Alright, off to pad number 2. I don't know, I just might use all 3 pads. Just because, I guess. Yeah, so the instructional video said to use 4 pads per headlight, but it only gives you 6, so I was going to use 3 and 3. But I thought the other one looked good enough to where I could maybe get away with just using 2 on it. But then I'm going to have a random pads left over that I probably ain't ever going to use again. Because I won't have enough to do it again if it needs it again. So I might as well just use them all and be done with it. It's nice, relaxing. Nice to see Alex. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. For the y'all who don't know, Alex, the guy who just popped in chat there, he's been a lifelong buddy of mine. He's one of my best friends there in Georgia that I grew up with. But just doing some headlight restoration to the Envoy, my grandpa's truck. Had a yellow one going on, and I've been meaning to do it for a while, so I finally said I'm just going to get her done. Yes, imperfection. Thank you. Like the stream, share, follow, all that good stuff if you guys don't mind. It'll help me grow it. Are you off today, Alex? I'm special.
Boy.
Well, I guess we'll find out if it's a skin irritant. Anyways, it just dripped down my leg. Not trying to do that. Sort of just found some side work. I do have some set customers, and I've got some customers that go through a app that you can essentially find and book a handyman like Uber, like a Uber for handyman kind of app ordeal. But yeah, I do have some personal customers that I have and I take on and I do weekly or bi-weekly. Well, I've got one bi-weekly. All my other ones are weeklies. Or no, I got two bi-weeklies and the rest of them are weekly. I'm trying to grow it. You know, right now, so every other week I have 4 lawns I try to get in right at the beginning of the week, 4 customers, and then on every other week than those weeks, I only have 2 right now. But I'm trying to expand and go from there. I just actually not terrible long ago got a hold of a rider mower. I had kind of like a little revival night on an old Toro mower, riding mower. One of my clients actually gave it to me. I guess he had heard me talking about it and realized that it would be of benefit of me to have a rider for some of my bigger yards, and he gave it to me. He says, if you can get it running, you can have it. He goes, it's more of use to you than it is me. And it sat since 2019. So I went over with a little bit of supplies just to see if I could get it to kick off a little bit and go from there. Went over with some mixed fuel and parts cleaner to clean up spark plugs and spray it down in the carb and whatnot. And I threw some mixed fuel in it to start with because that oil would be good to have on the motor because it sat for so long, and I don't know if the inside of it was dry or not, but you know, for a motor that hasn't ran in years and years and years, having that mixed fuel in it does help lessen the wear when you're reviving it. But after that, I got it spitting and sputtering, so at that point I knew it would run. So I came back a couple days later and finished the job, changed the oil, Uh, Gave the carburetor a super good clean down, put it back together, and ran some uh, seafoam in the tank to help continue to clean things out as I ran it. Thing runs like a champ. It's a lot of shit, but because the muffler's rusted out on it, but it works. It's strong. It runs fine, so can't complain. It turned out to work out pretty well. And he's got a really big snowblower. He said he'll give me. That's in the back of his garage, and it's same thing. It's just sat for a long time, so I'd have to tinker with it, revive it, see if it'll even revive. That kind of ordeal. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said if it was loud, I didn't really care. It's one of the old ones with the muffler on the very front of it is old Toro. I forget the model of it, but it doesn't even have double blades. It has just one big, long, massive blade under it that spins. It's pretty interesting, kind of sketch at the same time. But it works. It does a job. It runs well. So I'm not complaining. I don't care that it's loud. Half the time when I'm out there, I'll have my earbuds in anyways. Or if you're on a live, I'll have my earbuds in while I'm out there mowing and be just listening to you guys while you're doing your live. And just what I do. I don't care that it's loud at all. But, all right. Alright, I'll move on to a third wipe. And then I guess I'll just use the last wipe on the other lens that I've already wiped. Come on. Oh yeah. Good question. $17.90 out the door. So just under 20 bucks. But I'm thinking the way they have these kits set up, yeah, it wasn't too bad. But I expected to have enough in here to technically, I guess, do both headlights. But the instructional video and versus what they have said, and then what I've got in this, even the box says it only gives you 6 of these pads. The instructional video said to use 4 per headlight, and I only have 6, so I can only use 3 per headlight. So I'm not sure what the disconnect there is, but so I'm thinking it might be technically a 1 headlight kit, I guess. But I'm going to make it work for 2 because I don't know if I want to go and buy a whole nother kit again just to do a second headlight. So I'm taking my time and using these here. There you go. But I did watch a lot of reviews and videos of people who have used this particular kit on their lights, and there's a lot of people who swear by it and love it. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try because it's got a lot of good reviews. A lot of people highly recommend it. One guy that I found, he said that's all his shops do when customers come in requesting a headlight restoration work done. And he said that's the only kit he uses. And he was saying it, he wasn't even saying, he goes, I'm not even sponsored by these guys. That's not why I'm saying it. He goes, I just like the kits and I've seen that they work well from what I've seen. So that's all he uses. And this is only my second time using this kit. And my first time using it on a personal vehicle. My first time using it was a few years ago. Well, quite a few years ago. When I was working at a shop and a customer came in asking for a headlight restoration or a replacement, whatever I guess they chose to decide on was the restoration kit to see if that would do the trick for him so he didn't have to buy all new headlights. So, and I think it turned out pretty good back then. It worked out pretty well. The kits are cheap. Most of my pay from that was labor, obviously. But that's how most of it is, anyways, on your flat rate. It was funny watching new kids come to the shop talking about being paid hourly and this and that and doing oil changes. I was like, yeah, just wait. If you stick around long enough, you you won't be hourly. I was like, tell me how much you like it then. Yeah, it does. I could tell, and these turn yellow. You can tell when it's pulling the oxidation off. I've already noticed the difference even on the headlight down here that I've already done. That's pretty much dried now. I can tell it's not as yellow. It's cloudy now because I still need to sand it and whatnot. But I noticed right away that these oxidation wipes already helped a lot. But it's one reason why I'm just taking my time with the step one, probably more than probably most would, because I'm trying to make this one kit do both lights. Because like I said, I don't know if that was just an old instructional video and they used to just use 4 wipes, or they found out 3 works just fine per headlight. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I only used 2 on the other one, but I'm going to use the last one on it too and call it good. And then I'll rinse them again and we'll get the wet sanding started. Oh. God. Can't hang on to shit, apparently. but it's kind of where it's at currently. And you can tell on this one, let's see if I can pick it up without getting it all juiced up on the back again. You can tell it's still cloudy, but it's not yellow like it was. Thank you, Imperfection. If you guys haven't already, take a moment and go give me those little thumbs up thingamabobbers. And if there's anybody that's new here that's tuned in, be sure to do that and go give me a follow. It kind of feels that way too, Joe. And honestly, it's just going, and then finally, once you get down to the last few steps, you're just like, oh my goodness, finally. Like I said, I'm probably taking longer than I probably really need to, because I'm really trying to make sure this one kit does both of these lights the first go around. Is what I'm really shooting for. All right, and with that being said, that's wipe number 3 on that one. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go rinse this one off, and I'll do the third wipe on the other headlight. Appreciate it, everyone. Go smash that like button. Help me grow the channel. As Joe says, so I can get Google's money. Maybe. He's a little further along with it than I am. I probably won't see anything off of this channel for a while until it gets taken off a lot better. All right, there's that. But we will use our last wipe though. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It does count for the hours. So you guys come here often? Depends on your definition of come here often, Joe. Maybe let's ask Sway. She's back. You come here often? Joe earlier, just a few messages back, said, so you guys come here often? I said, well, it depends on your definition of come here often. It's good and bad. You're against protesting, but you don't know how to protest to show it, essentially, is what you're getting at. Or what you could do is go over there where they got those, all them orange people, those, stop oil activists or whatever the heck they are, fucking people spraying everything orange. Just go do what they do. Just start running people over. Or, well, do what the people do to them and just start running them over. That could be your silent way of protest. That was funny as hell. I watched this video the other day where there was a group of those people lined up in the road stopping traffic doing that stop oil protests, whatever, spraying everything orange and whatnot. This guy and his I don't remember if it was a BMW, Mercedes, something, but obviously it had some work and stuff done to it. So these people are holding up the traffic. This guy takes the time to stop, turn around, back up to where one of these guys are at, and revs bombs and throws flames at him. And it was loud as hell. And the guy couldn't move fast enough. He couldn't get out there fast enough. It was freaking hilarious. But yeah, when I saw that, I died laughing. I was like, that's one way to get them to move. Well, that and they do that weird shit. They'll glue themselves to the ground with like their hands and stuff, and then want to bitch and complain about their hands hurting or people are getting fed up or trying to take their time to get their hands off the concrete. And so the law enforcement over there just starts ripping people's hands off the concrete. Yeah. I want to put a two-step on the Envoy. As retarded as it is, it would be funny as hell. Actually, I'm really not looking to absolutely mod this thing out. It's got great potential, and I would want a motor, an Atlas motor of the same kind to one day to put in something to mess with. But I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of performance stuff to it, and maybe get a shift kit or something put in it, just so it's more stout. Nothing like outboard off the roof performance wise, but like cold air intake. There's a company I found that will send you a program for it to reprogram it to get a little bit more spice out of the motor. Because naturally aspirated, these Atlases 4.2s they can push stock. Well, completely stock internals. I've seen people boost these things, and they're making well over 500 horsepower on stock everything, and it just takes it. It eats it for breakfast. It's really amazing. But I believe the most I've seen somebody tune naturally aspirated, and they got it to push 292 horsepower, give or take, something like that, naturally aspirated. I mean, it was my grandpa's truck, so I just wanted to last, and I just wanted to have a little bit more pep in its step than what it does, but I'm not looking to go anything outrageous with it. Yeah, but I definitely want to just do a little bit of work to it, just to make it a little bit more spunky than what it is. And then one day I'm gonna get a hold of a motor I can actually play with and put it in something. I have a '98 V6 Mustang. I could probably slap it in because these motors, you only have to push just a very small amount of boost, and you're looking at big horsepower gains really quick. Like the least I seen somebody push was like maybe 9-10 pounds of boost and was already making 500 wheel horsepower. All right, I think that does it for this one. I think we're good. I've used all 6 pads, 3 on each light. I don't think I've really gotten much more yellowing off of it. So I was probably right when I said 2 of them seemed good enough. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. A lot of people, especially a lot of like the new car guys, I guess you want to say, like the car guys that want to be car guys that really don't know a whole lot yet, car guys, think you have to push like absurd amounts of boost to make big power. If you got the right powertrain, you don't need 20, 35 pounds of boost. Now, there's a guy that has pushed 20, 30 pounds of boost through one of these, making almost just under 1,000 horsepower out of this motor, but he does it for actual drag racing purposes. Like he's got a good handful of vehicles that have these Atlases in it. But no, just very basic. If you got a good drivetrain and if your motor's boost efficient, you could easily make big horsepower gains easily with little boost. There you go. That's not bad numbers either, though. But those 5.7s, they are pretty boost efficient too. They like boost if you got the money to boost them. Is what you should do is get that what is it, the 6.7 supercharged motor they put in the T-Rex. You should slap that in your car. Oh, that would be funny. That would be absurd, though. That would be a lot of power in that little tiny car. All right. Going back over to rinse. Last time rinsing. Well, yeah, last time rinsing this. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Joe. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't really know much about these motors at all until my grandfather gave me this thing, and I really dug into it to try to figure out the pros and cons of it. You know, just trying to figure the vehicle out, because this is the first Chevy I've ever owned. It's that far. Yeah, SFR sounds like he's got a lot of cool toys. Alright. And then there's that. And now we just start the wet sanding. I just have to figure out what I can use to spray real quick. Give me a second to spray on this thing while I go along with it. Hoo-yah. Alright, y'all, I'm back. I knew I kept an empty spray bottle somewhere for a reason. But, with that being found and said, I may have to end up the live here right now and make a store run. The wife is looking for some food. So, I'm pretty hungry myself, so I may pause here. So those who are still here and listening in right now, go hit the likey thingy and subscribe, because I'll be going live again maybe later this evening to finish this up, because I wanted to do the whole process on a live. So if you guys wouldn't mind, come back and tuning in. Be freaking amazing, because I love you guys. And we will continue this journey then. But for now, I'm going to go drive my blind car about 5 blocks that away to go get some grub. But, yeah. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I mean, I know I ain't got a whole lot of people, but I appreciate everybody. Even the smallest amounts that have joined me, have taken the time out of their day to chill with me. And I'm going to go get some grub, get the wife fed. For those of you who don't know, we're expecting. I have a little boy that's going to be joining us here on October 10th. Super excited. He's going to be a junior. He'll be named after me, Cody Miller. And he needs fed. So that's what we're going to go do. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys here after a little bit. And again, if you haven't already, please go give me a like and follow. And we'll see you guys here in a little bit. I appreciate it. Thank you, Alex. No Envoy. The Envoy's right there. With the hood up. With no eyeballs in it. So I'm going to drive a blind car to the store. Could take the bike to the store, but it's really loud right now. I need to put the baffles back on it. I took it off because I like the sound without it. And I just wanted to get an idea of what it would sound like being kind of straight piped. Because I, at some point, will be getting some shorties on it. So I just wanted to get a kind of a general idea what I would be looking at. But, alright guys, thank you. I will see you guys in a bit. You guys have a good one.